So the Metro now, they've got a story about Dave Chappelle storming off stage.
Oh, interesting. I just watched Dave Chappelle's special.
Is it good?
It is. It can't be bad because the guy is one of the most amazing comedians. And I've seen him when we were in New York. He'd already been around for years. He was working in the comedy club that I was hosting all those shows for, the Boston Comedy Club. So I worked with him many times. He tried to get me fired. As you know, I told you this story. Yeah,
but I didn't believe it when you told me this story.
Well, there's a truth. He tried to get me fired.
Well, you know, what for?
He was in a venue and he told everybody, you got to hand your phones in.
Yes.
And one person didn't hold their phones in, so he had a hissy fit, which is it's not even a hissy fit. You don't want to be recorded because this is all off the top of my head. It's not good. It's not good, but it's off the top of my head.
Okay. Go on, Cressida, you tell us about this story.
Louis C.K. had a special coming out a few years ago. Somebody filmed the whole thing, they turned up, ripped it off and released it on the internet. And that's that material gone.
So actually it's worth getting stroppy about it.
Well, the thing, I just don't know how you can ever completely police this. I'm surprised that it doesn't happen.
Well, you know that a lot of the stuff that comedians do, we're doing work in progress. We're trying stuff out. The worst thing is for someone to film it and then...
I hate everything ending up on the internet. Some of my favourite jokes are things that I might not necessarily say to everybody I know. It might be about them. And I can do it in a comedy club to a small number of people. Once it's on YouTube, well, that's just the end of that.
So I mean, I know a very, very famous comedian, I won't name names, who was doing a show at the Edinburgh Fringe, and he went on, and in the first couple of minutes, he just said, this isn't going to work, and walked off. Because he could tell the audience were just not going to go with it. And I kind of have sympathy in a way.
That's not what he's talking about.
And what's he talking about then?
He's just saying he's setting a lesson for everybody who comes into a Dave Chappelle show in the future, that I'm going to watch... It's basically he's making everybody in the thing a narc or a spy. I'm going to watch everybody in the audience to make sure they're not recording this. Because if they do record it, my evening's over. I paid £139 to see Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
And...
OK, Paul, what do you think?
Well, I think he's absolutely right. I mean, for me, there's no two ways about it. It's intellectual property, IP. You know, this is something that he's using, this is something that he's selling, and we all want to enjoy it. We don't want to see it on some grainy iPhone video. And also, let's not forget that going to a comedy club or any form of entertainment shouldn't be seen through the lens of an iPhone screen.
Yes.
Just sit down, enjoy it, and immerse yourself in that experience, like in any comedy club. I'm surprised this could happen, because I don't go and watch arena comedy. It's not for me. I've been to a couple of big things, didn't really enjoy it. But I know that people have been recently to see the Peter Kay arena tour. They're putting phones in these bags, and then they're unable to get to them, and they have to collect them later on.
Yes.
So I'm surprised that maybe it wasn't that type of event, maybe it wasn't an arena thing, but I'm surprised that it actually happened. He's absolutely right, though. The biggest problem is for those that did pay to go and see him that night, for which I do feel sorry.
Yeah, he's a great comedian, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would easily have a second phone, and that wouldn't be... You could have one confiscated and the other. I'm amazed it doesn't happen.
We won't solve the mystery.